Activity theory is a framework used by writing scholars to examine the literacy histories and social relationships within a particular community. We examine tools of communication such as written genres, technologies, language, symbols, visuals, gestures, and movement, and the ways in which those tools support the goals and values of community members. When thinking about activity systems, we can use the word discourse community synonymously. Let's take a pause here to check your knowledge. This is mainly a review from the readings you've done thus far. When the everyday person thinks of genre, what comes to mind? And according to our class texts, what are other examples of genres? So again, this is based on the video lectures you've listened to thus far, as well as the class readings. When the everyday person thinks of genre, what comes to mind? And then according to our class texts, what are other examples of genres? So please post your responses in the chat room. Take the next minute to do so. We're going to take a look at one particular discourse community, Argentine Tango, and we're going to analyze its activity system using this graph. You will find this graph also in the reading. I'm going to analyze the community here in Ithaca. I'm a tango organizer, instructor, and dancer. I'm considered an active member of this discourse community. Adam and Chico, who I just displayed a second ago, were invited in 2020, right before the pandemic. This was our last tango event in the community. Let me go through a completed version of this graph. In Argentine Tango, there are various tango organizers who work together to promote the events of their community, to facilitate communication, genres, and technologies such as emails in a community listserv, verbal and digital announcements of upcoming festivals and events, digital and paper-based posters, Facebook posts, and YouTube videos of invited dance couples are used often between organizers as well as members of the community. The goal of these events is to promote tango and its legacy, build social connections, and raise funds for invited teachers and the tango school. To successfully organize a milonga, which is a tango event, organizers rely on volunteers in the dance community. Oftentimes, the most experienced dancers help for free entry into the event. Students who may be beginner may also volunteer for free entry. These would be college students. Other volunteers who work for free entry may include photographers, DJs, and the food cleaning crew. Organizers will often produce most of the genres for a local event. However, if the community is large enough, they may designate someone to update the website and calendar, create the posters, maintain the social media feed, and so on. Organizers typically conduct all communication with invited dance teachers. A tango community is often defined by a particular city. If that city has several tango communities, then it's because there are several tango schools or well-known teachers who attract loyal students. And last, in tango, we have códigos, which are the rules and social norms of the dance, which historically have been based on traditional gender roles. All right, we're going to take pause here again to check your knowledge. What function do genres play within the tango community? Again, what function do genres play within the tango community? Please post your answers in the chat room. Okay, let's return. You will fill out the same graph to describe your own discourse community. You can add text by annotating the PDF, or you can print it out. Fill it out and then take a photo of the completed graph. You can Google how to annotate a PDF in Preview, which is owned by Mac, or Adobe, which often is installed on PCs, if you want to do it digitally. You'll have to upload either version, the PDF, to our class folder. Once we have a holistic picture of our discourse community, the next step is to identify a problem within this community. Many tango organizers strive to create an inclusive dance environment where beginners aren't marginalized according to age, skill level, race, or gender. In the past year, tango organizers have taken the time to reevaluate the social norms and rules of their community. Dancers of color have shared painful experiences of microaggression. For instance, one dancer commented that when she arrived to a milonga, a tango event, wearing a tango dress and tango shoes, some dancers had asked, "Oh, what are you doing here?" She commented that white dancers were never asked the same question. Tango communities also have reported instances of sexual harassment. How can Tango organizers provide a space for dancers to report instances, and how do organizers hold the offender accountable for their action? Once we have a completed graph and a problem statement, our next step will be to interview an expert or member of this discourse community to better understand this problem and the ways in which the genres and tools of communication are used to study this problem, understand this problem, remedy this problem, or educate others about this problem. This week, you'll want to locate a person you would like to interview. You'll need to send them an email or text message asking them if they have time in their busy schedule to participate in a 15-minute interview. The interview can take place over the phone, Zoom, in person, or by email. We won't conduct the interviews until the following week, but you will need to ask for their permission in advance to make sure that you can schedule time for it. After the interview, you'll complete library research and do a genre review. Thereafter, you'll complete presentations about your discourse community within VoiceThread. This will function as a type of pre-draft for your actual written article, which won't be due until the end of the semester. The presentation will function very similar to the presentation that I've just given to you today.